What are you doing walking a dog around here at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Just having a good time, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
What's a good time to you?
Walking a dog in the snow.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
You're full of shit. And I know it.
That's possible.
I'm gonna sue every last fucking one of you, you know that, right? So I've decided I'm gonna fucking follow this guy. He's just hanging out at the corner there. Because I want to know if he's going into a car or a house. Does he live around here? Or is he intentionally fucking with me? Okay, it looks to me like he got into a truck. Following the tracks. Well, he's still walking. I would have thought he would have been in a vehicle by now or something. Huh. I want to know who's going to pick him up or where he lives, because obviously he doesn't live right around here. He's walking all the way fucking up the road with the dog. So is he waiting for a pickup or what? All right. He was on the right side of the road, now he's going back to the left side of the road. You can damn well bet I'm following you. Okay. Yeah. Went down into the gas station here. And is this how I need to get him up? It's gone into Sevy. Nope. You can see, yeah, trucks. Lead right into 7-Eleven. Fact is, if he lives in these apartments here, I'm wrong about somebody stalking me all the fucking way down here. But I'm right. What we should be seeing is this guy either walking across the road to another location, or he should be getting a pickup. We shouldn't be seeing him coming down here. Huh. Look at that. Nobody with the dog. No guy. His tracks led over there. And now he's gone. How much you want to bet? We're going to find the tracks at 7-Eleven. leading into a car. Alright, so he's on the cell phone, wondering what the fuck do I do? This guy's following me to find out the ride. This is X. Nope. I'm thinking this is his ride. But there's no fucking question, I recognize this guy. He's a fucking cop.
Hey, stay away from me.
You stay the fuck away from me and all your gang stalking buddies.
I'm away from you. I don't want nothing to do with it. The police are coming right now.
What for?
Cell phone.
I'm recording you. I've been
Yeah,
recording
good.
you the whole fucking
Good.
time.
He's like, I don't know, he's whacked. He's recording.
I'm whacked. Yeah.
Don't
That's why
come
you're
near me.
already on the fucking phone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be here in any minute.
Good. Then we can sort it out with them.
Yeah.
Hey there. Do you guys have Black Stone?
Coming forward.
Yeah, I'm real dangerous. Do you have Blackstone cigars?
Put them here, so I here.
Your phone wanna break, man.
CG847G.
Sorry?
Do you have Blackstone cigars?
Wait.
Yeah, which one you want?
Port flavor, please.
Sorry?
Port flavor, please.
Back here.
Now, can you say it?
Port,
Black jacket.
not original port. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can't a guy buy a cigar in this country?
Huh? CG847G.
$3.30, sir.
Wait till they hear what you've been doing.
I'm dropping the phone. I can't stand the inside. I can't. He's too close to me.
I am recording this whole
Fuck
thing.
You. You think you can threaten people that walk in the neighborhood and get away with it?
I didn't threaten you.
Fuck you, you did it.
I said I was going to sue all of your
Fuck all
gang
of you.
stalking buddies.
No. I'm walking my dog and you fucking threaten me?
You're not walking your dog in any place near your fucking house, are you? Where the fuck do you live?
Right here, 3 blocks from here.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I do. Stay the fuck away from me.
Buddy, you're a setup.
I'm gonna set up.
Yes, you are, and I've recorded the whole fucking thing.
Good.
And I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue your buddies, and all your fucking gang stalking friends. Oh, sure. The fact is, you guys have been fucking me way too fucking long.
Don't hang up the phone. Don't hang up.
Still recording.
Yeah, good.
I've told you guys I've had enough.
Yeah?
You're gonna leave me alone, or you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Yeah?
I'm gonna get the RCMP involved, I'm gonna get CSIS involved, and eventually one of them is gonna fucking bust you guys. All right, we see flashing lights now. All right, the fact is that this guy actually told the police that I had uttered death threats, that I had uttered threats against him and his family and everything else, and that I had basically followed him like 10 feet, 5 feet behind him in my van the whole fucking way there. And the officers were ready to like jump me like hardcore, like they were just gearing up to fucking for me to make the wrong move. And so, you know, I didn't. It turns out I actually had to show the officers, both of them, not just one of them, like a couple of the videos that I made of this guy doing his thing, just to prove that what he said to them was complete nonsense. And even then, they were still like, you know. And so, I mean, like, this guy is a good actor. I'll give him that. But a good actor can't fucking act over the truth of a video camera, I guess. So the police let me go, and they started getting really upset with this guy. I don't know what happened to him afterwards, but I decided to get the fuck out of there because the police told me to. They also said to me that if they had received another accusation about me that night that, like I explained to them, I was on my way to Port Moody. I have evidence against these gang stalkers, and now I have another piece of evidence against these gang stalkers where this guy pretty much admits he's a gang stalker. You know, in that first video there where he's walking his dog through the park, you know, the fact is when I said you're completely full of shit, and I know it, he turned around and said, possibly. Like smug, like you're never gonna fucking find out, you're never gonna catch us, you know. And so what is that? That's bait. To lose it on them, or to run them down, or, you know, like I've been under a lot of stress. These people have been fucking with my food. They've been putting psychotics in my food where I've gotten sudden rushes of anger and I just want to but it's like, you know, wait a second, that's an old demon of mine that's pretty well caged in it's my pet now. Like I release it when I need to, not when it overcomes me. And that is the difference between living by your ego and living by your spirit. You don't let your ego take control. Alright, this is one of the fucking machines that was going by me at the park. What is he doing here? And why is he turning here? Here we have a taxi. 2 vehicles. At 3 o'clock in the morning. 2:30 in the morning, sorry. So the officers said that if they got called out to another accusation, I was gonna get arrested. For what? 2 people accusing me of bullshit? Like, the only thing that saved me tonight was that I actually had video. This guy was just sitting there waiting for me, and the minute I looked at him, he starts shoveling snow. That's his first shovel. So I mean, this guy's a plant. Doesn't even know how to drive in the snow, let alone plow it. This is obviously becoming dumb. Okay, this guy just sold me this cigar. I took the top off of it. I said, hey, look, it's defective. Can I please have a proper one? And he says, I took the top off. I took the plastic. I took the plastic off and saw that it was defective and said, hey.
Don't too much talk. I have a headache. If you don't want to throw inside the garbage.
Sir, I want my money back then. Either give me a non...
Don't too much talk, okay? I said inside the plastic, give you saying that. How come infected this one?
It's melted. Look, it's melted.
I tell you don't move, okay?
Sorry?
You don't put inside the water.
Okay, thank you. What is he doing? Do I need to call the police?
Up to you. You want to call police, you want anyone. I don't care.
This is a defective product. No, it's melted.
Go call anyone.
I just...
Police, anyone.
I just...
Go call God.
I haven't even
I don't
walked...
care, I tell you. You want to call anyone, call it. What can I do? I give you a drop inside the water.
Sir, it's a defective.
Change it.
The plastic is melted all over the cigar. This doesn't even have plastic here.
My friend, I don't know.
Yes, you do. I haven't even walked away. I just opened the top of the cigar and said it's defective. Can I have a new one, please?
My friend, I can't do that. I am the same as you. I work here. He give me $8 per hour. You want I pay for your...
Sir, he can't give you $8 per hour. It's $10.50 is minimum wage, first off.
After tax, $8.
The fact is
you want, I buy for you.
The filter is melted, sir.
My friend, if you want to buy it, I buy for you. Myself. I can't change it. Because you're not listening to me.
Sir, I have changed many defective cigars with many stores in the past. When there's a break in it, I bring it back to the store, they give me a new one. When there's no filter on it, the filter comes off, they take it back. It's melted. Melted. Heat.
Inside the store, how come melted?
Look, there's heat all there. It's melted to the cigar. I can't even take the plastic off. It's melted.
Water go inside.
Sir, I just took the cigar out of here. I haven't even moved. You saw me open the top and say, hey, this is defective.
The cigar is water. How come? I can't believe it. I have facts.
It's melted. Look at it. It's melted to the cigar.
Look at here. Look at here. All never melted. How come you're melted?
I don't know. Why did you hand me a melted cigar? You're obviously having fun with this. I can see the smile on your face.
I don't know. I can't.
Okay, this is obviously a setup. I'm calling it is that this guy has been making all sorts of noise and everything all around here. And as soon as I go to buy a cigar, he stops. And now he's just sitting there. And this guy keeps on looking over at him. So I'm calling the police. Reason why I called the Port Moody police is because the Burnaby police told me that if anything should happen like this again, just call the police. Don't try to deal with it yourself. Call the police. And I was like, okay, fine. So this time I should have at least gotten a plate from the guy. Like, he was just sitting right there at the end of the lot. I could have just walked right up to him with the camera rolling, and I didn't even think about it. I was just like, from recording to calling the police, because I was told to do this if it was another setup. And this is another setup. Now, you got to understand, when I was on the phone with the Port Moody police detachment, I told the guy at the window that I was bringing evidence that like 100 to 200 people had been gang stalking me for 7 years, and if he wanted me to add him to that list for taking their money and participating in their harassment, then you know, he could go ahead and do that, or he could tell me who paid him to do this. And subconsciously, he was already looking over at the guy and pointed at the guy a little bit, and I said, okay, thanks. And you know, so I might have some pity on this guy, because he was probably just flashed $100 and given the cigar and said, hey, give this guy a hard time, make sure he doesn't have any cigar but this one. And you know, like, gas attendant given $100, you know, that's like the best tip of his life, you know. So I can understand it, but at the same time, he doesn't understand that just being that little bit of a hindrance is part of an ocean of evil. Saying yes to one small evil 1,000,000 times enables 1,000,000 times that evil to exist. Don't you people understand? They rigged this van all right. So another one bites the dust. You can see I barely pulled on it. Again, the fact is, this has just been changed out recently, and you can tell because somebody fucking scratched this up, and these are fresh. There's absolutely no dirt in them whatsoever. So what happened here? I'll tell you. Somebody replaced this with a novelty. It's not the same one. Okay, before I go to the police station, there's something I want to note about that snow shovel dude that I recorded earlier. You notice he did the entire other side of the lot, both the exits on the other side, but on this side, he didn't do shit. He didn't get close enough for me to see his plate. You can actually see he intentionally stayed the fuck out of the way. And he just shoveled around here a little bit to make it look like he was doing a job. That's it. And then he took off. As soon as he saw me on the phone with the police, he took off. And no, I wasn't able to get a plate, but I did get a video. So I just had a visit from the Port Moody RCMP as I was trying to pull in there for the night. And they've basically first treated me like I might have fucking psychosis or, you know, paranoia or something like that. And then in the end, they came over and said, you have to present it to the VPD. A sergeant or a corporal. But I have to bring it to the VPD. They can't investigate an outside source. So we're sleeping in front of the cop shops again tonight. Somebody's going to steal my gas and tamper with my vehicle again tonight. Which is where we are now. We're at the Cambie precinct of VPD. In here. I've been here for about 10 hours now, and nobody's bothered me. I haven't gotten a parking ticket, thankfully. I mean, like, nobody's come up and talked to me and asked me, what are you doing here, son? We've seen you here a few times now. So, I mean, obviously the VPD know what I'm doing here. I mean, my life is being threatened by people casually driving by in Evo cars and going, and the fact is that I do kind of find it funny because I've tried killing myself a number of times. I know they're gonna fail. I'm not just accusing the VPD of stealing my fuel. I'm accusing hundreds, well, at least 100 to 200 people of gang stalking me in an organized fashion, and this is throughout a network of community service, neighborhood watch, police, these hater groups, actors, as we can see. What the fuck? What the fuck have I attracted into my reality? Like, seriously, what the fuck is going on? Somebody knocking? I thought I heard somebody knocking. Lightly. I guess an officer. Yeah, he's chuckling at himself. That's 362XMN. I wonder if he's one of the good guys or one of the bad apples. See, that's why I'm sitting out here, because I really don't know who the fuck to talk to. You know, I think what's going on is that I'm cursed to live on this planet and to keep on feeding my cans of Act-Right to people who keep on stepping on my fucking toes, because that's what Vancouver hates me for. I mean, the fact is people cross my path and I do them well up until a point. If they do something really wrong to hurt a person and don't give a shit and carry on with their jaded lives like most Vancouverites do, then I feed them a can of Act-Right and tell them what they're doing wrong and tell them how to act better and tell them how to act right. And I try to example it as much as I can. I'm human. I admit I make fucking mistakes once in a while, but I don't make big ones, and I don't fucking hurt people and just not take responsibility, okay? And this is their biggest kick. They're always making me take responsibility for all my little fucking mistakes. Do any of them take their responsibility? No. That's what I'm fucking doing here. Asking somebody to take some fucking responsibility for what the all is going on. And as far as I can tell, I'm also sitting here to make sure I don't get crucified before I hand in a shitload of evidence. Like we're talking at least 100 to 200 people have been gang stalking me in an organized fashion over the last 7 years, okay? And as far as I can tell, some members of the VPD have joined in over the last year. I'm not completely sure about the VPD. That's why I'm here. And the RCMP are telling me to go to the VPD, and I'm sitting out here because of that experience. That guy knocking lightly on my van and then rushing to his car and driving away giggling. Like, that's kind of something that somebody you don't really want to trust with your life does. So, I mean, who the fuck do I talk to? Who's not gonna fucking strangle me in the evidence room when I turn over some of my evidence? Because it's pretty fucking hardcore. The fact is what's going on is that I don't know. I don't really think I lost anything in the first 5 years except for a whole lot of love for humanity. Like, these people really jacked my heart a lot in the first 5 years. They really ripped me apart inside. And then once I got out in the van, they started ripping my van apart and they started ripping my fuel apart. And from what I can tell, I've spent at least $10,000 on repairs and fuels for this van that I've had to replace from somebody fucking with it over the last year, which is what, interestingly enough, I owe in my life for bills. Everything Everything would be fucking covered right now because I work for a fucking living. I'm not some fucking skid. I'm not some fucking bum who lives in his fucking van and just surfs the fucking coast. I'm fucking a working fucking Vancouverite. I put the money that my rent is usually going into the fucking economy, okay? Into the local economy. I'm a boon to the local economy because I'm putting over $1,000 a fucking month more into it than anybody else and my level of fucking pay. Because I don't have to pay rent. I fucking own my own home. It's fully insured. And I gotta have a driver's license to fucking have it. That means I gotta have some kind of good standing with the law, doesn't it? Okay, think about it, people. Van dwellers are not fucking bums. We fucking have to have certain regulations met in order to be able to even have these things and drive them. Alright, so fucking stereotyping van dwellers as homeless is absolutely ludicrous and absurd. We are homeowners, fully insured homeowners, nonetheless. And not only that, we have to have a special license to have this home. Do they? No, they don't have to have a fucking homeowner's driver's license. No, we do. So I'd say like we're actually a little more legit than the property owners who are trying to say that the land that is shared by all living beings is theirs alone. Which is bullshit. It's just a delusion that humans have, that they've created so that they can think that they're king of some fucking little fucking utopia in their backyard. Like, it's bullshit. We share the land. The land is shared by all living beings, not just us. Don't be so fucking egotistical. Like, seriously. I pay my taxes, I pay my parking, I pay whatever the fuck I can, and I also add more money into the local economy and more stores by not giving it to some fucking rich landlord who lives over fucking seas. So, eat that. You know, the truth is, the only land human beings can actually own is the land that we create ourselves out in space. And that's what's waiting for us. We get to create our own utopias, our own ways of living, create a huge, diverse piece of humanity in an unlimited resource place called space. That's where we're supposed to be going right now. And we're not supposed to be leaving all this toxic industry and all these plastics in the oceans and everything else all over the planet so that we can slowly torture our mother to death. The fact is we're supposed to be giving birth. Our mother's supposed to be giving birth to us right now. We should be making our own lands, owning our own home and our own lands out in space. We should be able to create our own utopias. And here on Earth, being earthbound like this, thinking that we own the land that so many different species of life inhabit, look at your garden. You got thousands and thousands of just insect life. You don't own your land. Nobody does. We share it with all life. If you want to own land, you create it, and you put what life in there that you need to live symbiotically in a good fashion that you can handle, that nature can handle, that you can all live in, like a biodiverse biodome. The fact is we human beings are capable of doing this, and we're capable of giving life to Mars. We're capable of doing all this. We just need to smarten up. Sorry, we don't need to smarten up. We need to love up. The fact is that the only way human beings are going to get to space is if we actually put our differences aside and start working together for the good of all. And this is what I push in my daily life.